Hello, what's up? Hey, hello. Today I will tell you about Russian tuning. Tuning is it's way too expensive. Russia not have money. Russians, therefore, uh, Russia don't have tuning. It exists, but it is not as pronounced as in other countries. Tuning can be divided into two categories: tuning in USSR and tuning in Russia. Okay, let's go. I could started in tuning in USSR.
Tuning headlights. Headlights in the Soviet Union couldn't boast of their durability, so moisture was constantly poured under the headlights and reduced the life of the headlight and the bulb itself. Therefore, brake fluid was poured into the headlight. She absorbed moisture or put military plugs. Usually such plugs were installed on a WAZ-21-1 or on a UAZ. People also liked to put fog lights on their cars. As soon as they went on sale, they were immediately bought up. Anti-fog. More anti-fog. Curtains in the salon. In interior. Previously, it was impossible to tint your car. There was no tinting at that time, and people got out as best they could. They hung up the curtains, and that on the other hand, it became more comfortable in the cabin. Many people loved the Fringer curtains. Gear knob. The gear knob is the most popular tuning place in the USSR. Everything was limited only by fantasy. The gear knob was decorated with anything, but the most popular decorated was a flower in epoxy resin or glass, most often a rose. They could also fill in the spiders, beetles, cockroaches, or some handmade items. The fan inside the cabin. Previously, things were very bad with cooling the air in the cabin, so I had to get out. The fan in the cabin was a very useful thing. The door's head is on the tow bar. Behind the car there is a metal corner, a hitch, so that a trailer can be attached to it, and usually at the end of this corner they put on a doll's head. They tore off the head and put in on the hitch, or a heating pad. Yes, it looks terrible, but it was a mandatory element of Soviet tuning. Antistatic tail. You know they hang a chain on trucks that drags along the road. When lightning strikes, an electric charge flows into the ground. On passenger cars, rubber bands were hung as an antistatic tail. These rubber hands wore out very quickly and didn't carry any functionality. Reflectors were hung on them, but they quickly became dirty. Mud flaps. Mud flaps are also one of the most popular tuning car parts in the USSR. The mud guards were decorated as best they could, reflectors, overlays, Mercedes badges. The same story as with the antistatic tail. Stickers. Soviet Union stickers on glass in the USSR were in short supply. Having such stickers was something out of the reach. Who found the stickers were simply the coolest. The rest it was cool. The rest were content with what they found. Everything went into business. Massage capes and covers. There were no cars in the USSR, so motorists saved some kind of the cars themselves. The back seat was simply put in a solid carpet. It was also very popular to hand massage covers on the front seats, functionally and looks like. Section pad. Another very popular element of Soviet tuning, section pad, attached anywhere. Braid on the steering wheel. The steering wheels in domestic cars were uncomfortable and unpleasant to the touch as possible. Therefore, motorists came up with something interesting. We saved a braid on the steering wheel, and those who did not have money just wrapped the steering wheel with electrical tape. Yes, they just wrapped the steering wheel with electrical tape. An element of Soviet tuning which I think looks as cool as possible. Chrome caps and the white line on the wheels. Such rims on wheels were drawn during some parades, automobile exhibitions, and this element also went to the people. Looks very cool to me. Combines very nicely with chrome hubcaps. Coins for glass. This type of tuning could be found in minibus or bus drivers. They like to show coins under glass. I don't know what it gave the car, but that's how they did it.
Such an interesting tuning existed in USSR. Write your opinion about them in the comment, please. So, what about tuning in Russia now? After the collapse of the Soviet Union, diversity has increased. But people are afraid to tune expensive car. Therefore, everyone is tuning after us. On the road of the country, you can sometimes cross cars with non-standard bumpers. Russians, young guys, have summer entertainment. They buy old car, Zhiguli. This Zhiguli, it's was 21.6 classic car classic car in Russia. They buy this auto 15,000 rubles. It's $20. $200. Sorry. $200. They glue electrical tape on headlights, remove the bumpers, cut the springs, paint as they want, and go to drift. Because Zhiguli have a rear wheel drive. Cut springs and removed bumpers. Back removed bumpers too. And this toner tinted toner on the glasses, cut springs. It's a classic cars in Russia. Was 21.6. Usually these cars don't live as such for more 3 months and send scrap metal.
Bumper. The rich Russians put on cool bumpers, but in most cases it looks terrible. Sometimes the bumpers are simply removed. Russians cut the springs. The most budget-friendly option is to give your car a sporty look. Many people like to underestimate their cars. There is even a movement among the people called Bepan. There is no car without landing, but this kind of tuning is not for our roads. They are just awful here, but if you correctly underestimate the car, it will look good. Replacement of headlights. There is a huge amount of parts in the automobile market. There are a lot of them at AutoVAZ, and the Russians are charging the factory headlights. Looks beautiful in my opinion. The car looks fresh. Huge muffler and deafening exhaust. Young people love to install huge exhaust pipes so big that you can show in sneakers. It looks impressive but very annoying when such an idiot flies by at 3 o'clock in the morning under the windows. Alloy wheels. On the road of Russia, most every car of AutoVAZ has alloy wheels. Yes, well-chosen discs create a more spectacular car look. Spoiler. Sometimes on a car in Russia you can see a car with a stylish and beautiful spoiler, but there are very few such machines. Some just don't think and buy Chinese plastic for $5 in the market. Sucks. Airbrushing. If you have money, you can paint your car as you want. A very rare occurrence in my city. I've only seen a couple of beautiful and high quality airbrushes. Tuning in the interior. A lot car A lot can be changed here. It doesn't matter how the car looks from the outside, the main thing is inside. Russian cars make it easy to put another torpedo dashboard. I saw with my own eyes a WAZ-21-9 with a torpedo from an Opel, and there are a lot of such cases. I won't be surprised if I see a Mercedes interior in an old bucket. Everything changed here. The torpedo gear knob, dashboard, seat covers, steering wheel, add neon lights. A beautiful designer car interior always look interesting. It's more pleasant to sit in such a salon. Toning, an excellent alternative to currents from the USSR, but don't forget about the traffic rules. Auto sound. The subwoofer is an attribute of yours. If you are owner of AutoVAZ products and you are under 30 years old, you must have a subwoofer in your car that opens the trunk lid. Some people like this farting sound from the trunk, some don't. I find it better to have quality speakers than a box like this in my trunk.
This is the kind of tuning we have in Russia. Write your opinion about them in the comment, please. And what about tuning in your country? Thanks for watching. Bye.